Hello viewers, you're watching Kashmir Life Interviews. Today we are joined by General Secretary of People's Democratic Party, Dr. Mehboob Baig. We're going to be talking to him about the current environment in his party and the general situation, political and social, across Jammu and Kashmir. Dr. Baig, welcome to Kashmir Life.
Thank you.
My question is on your party. Is PDP still relevant to Jammu and Kashmir?
PDP is definitely relevant to Jammu and Kashmir. More so after what happened on 5th August 2019. I think it's more relevant because the only party which talks about, which gives expression to the feelings of people of Jammu and Kashmir.
But you've only won 27 seats in the recent DDC elections out of 280 across Jammu and Kashmir. So in that context, from 28 assembly seats, you have come to 27 DDC seats. So what has happened?
No, there are many factors. One is that announcement was it was done very suddenly. We were taken unawares. No party was taken into confidence. No party was consulted.
But why did you cede away seats to the National Conference? They're the second largest party, and you gave space to them.
I think that time. Give me a second. I think that time more important than sharing of seats. I mean the number of seats you would get for your own party. More important than that was the basic cause that we should unite and we should be seen and we should act as one for what? For whatever had happened after August 5th, 2019.
So what you're basically telling me is that you ceded away seats to the National Conference for a larger cause.
No, I would say ceded. I say we didn't even apply our minds to all of this. Our entire attention was basically focused on this, that we should be seen and we should act as one voice for entire state of Jammu and Kashmir.
Or was it because a lot of leaders actually left the PDP? 28 lawmakers, former cabinet ministers and senior leaders have left PDP.
That's another factor, of course.
So what happened? Why did they leave? Well, there has been no answer. I've been talking to leaders who have left, who are still in PDP. What happened? Why did they leave?
I think they knew, and all of us know, we are passing through very difficult times. So the moment our President Mehbooba Mufti took a stand and made her intentions clear, every political activist, every political worker could smell and know that she's taking up a challenge.
But Big Sahab, it started in 2018 when the government fell. There was nothing regarding what happened post August 5. So leaders started leaving just days after the government fell. And there was so much of infighting. Nobody has yet come out with the reasons. Why so? What happened? It was a robust house. What did suddenly happen?
No, we will have to introspect. We will have to introspect because you are right, you have a point. I think we will have to sit and introspect what happened. But to me, it looks and appears that everybody thought that perhaps immediately PDP is not going to come to power. So everybody wants shortcuts.
But the leaders who left after the government fell basically accused a close group of creating this atmosphere in the party. Peer Mansoor was accused of it. But today Peerzada Mansoor is also not part of the party, and he's saying that something is wrong within the party. Then what is wrong?
No, and he's part of those people now who had accused him of doing what they accuse us of having done.
I get your point, but this Surinder Singh, who was the ex-MLA, he also has said that the leadership did not reach out to me. So is it like Mehbooba ji does not reach out to anybody then?
No, it's absolutely not like that. I know it for certain. The only thing is, I will repeat, and even at the cost of reputation, they know she has taken up a challenge, and it's not easy, believe me, trust me, it's not easy to associate oneself with her. They know the entire onslaught of Government of India she is facing the brunt. So everybody doesn't want to be a part of something which is going to be extremely difficult. It's not easy.
But on this point, I'd like to ask you, there are leaders still in the PDP who are coming out and speaking against the party. There's Fayaz Ahmed Mir, the former parliamentarian. Then there's Nazir Khan, the former district president of the PDP from Budgam. But you haven't expelled them. The party has not taken any action. Why so? Is there who's taking these decisions?
No, these are very technical things. Question is, you have left party, whether you remove, these are all technicalities. I don't think, in principle, they have left, so they are not with the party, whether you expel them or you don't expel them.
So who's at the helm of taking these decisions? Lot of leaders are saying that there's a group of people taking decisions. So was there a group?
Anyway, there is nothing like a group, but there is a definite committee which is known as Political Affairs Committee. So Political Affairs Committee, even recently, we sat and we discussed everything. I think it lasted for more than 2 hours.
But on this Political Affairs Committee, which was recently newly formed, a lot of people were added afterwards. In fact, you became General Secretary, your order came afterwards. So is it like party takes a decision and then retrospects it so that people don't leave?
No, I don't think that people who have not left, people are leaving. Again, because everybody knows it's not going to be easy.
My question is that leaders who are leaving, all of them are basically praising Mufti Muhammad Said, the founder of the party. But somewhere they're critical of Mehboob Baig and the way party is functioning. Is there a difference between the two? How do you see it? Because you have worked with both of them.
Both. Absolutely. I'm really surprised when they say this. Now, we have seen her. Everybody said, even during Mufti Saab's time, when he was there, everybody said it was because of Mehboob Baig's hard work. We changed everything, because Mufti Saab has never been so popular. He never got so massive mandates. She got them only when Mehboob Baig worked for the party. Everybody said, from A to Z, ask anybody, just take a breath and go into the past. Even during Mufti Saab's time, everybody praised Mehboob Baig. She said, yes, Mufti Saab was a visionary. He had a vision, but it was because of Mehbooba Mufti efforts that PDP came to what it became.
My question is on the PAGD. The PAGD hasn't met since December 22 when the DDC election results came. Neither has it appointed an official spokesperson since Sajjad Lone parted ways with it. So, is it still there, or you have silently let it die?
So far as PDP is concerned, for us it's still there. Now it's for the president, who is Farooq Saab. It's for the president to do.
But Mehboob Baig is also vice president.
Yeah, of course she is.
So why aren't they meeting? Why isn't anybody? It seems that nobody is speaking about the PAGD now.
No, we have not to speak. We have to tell Farooq Saab, please conduct meetings.
So are you telling him that?
Yeah, of course.
Is he responding?
No, this means perhaps he's not. But we will go on pursuing, because to us, we feel that people of Jammu and Kashmir, by and large, want all of us to be together and want all of us to be seen together and act together for the cause, which is the abrogation of Article 370 and 35.
But inside the PDP, how do you see that there's a Jammu declaration coming up by the leaders of National Conference? Devendra Rana is talking about it. So are you on board on that?
No, we are
because
not.
Farooq Saab shared a stage with Panthers Party and
not.
with Congress.
We are not. This is quite.
Does Jammu and Kashmir need a Jammu declaration?
No, this is quite strange. There is a Jammu declaration. Has Farooq Saab or Umar Saab objected to it? We don't know. Have they approved of it?
Are you going to be part of something? Have you been approached by leaders from Jammu?
To my knowledge, no. Number one, we are not part of it. Number two, these questions should be asked from Farooq Saab and Umar Saab. Have they said goodbye to PAGD? I don't think they have. Officially, have they accepted Jammu declaration? To me, I haven't heard of it. Is it something within the party which is happening? That's for them to see. That's not for me to comment on.
So, you basically, your leader Mehbooba Mufti talked about this political witch hunt against the PDP. So, why isn't it happening with other parties?
Sorry, why?
Why isn't this political witch hunt being carried out with other parties?
That's
Why
ex-
just PDP?
Yeah, that's exactly my point.
Are you being singled out?
Yeah, we are being singled out because they know he is the one who will not compromise on this. If you look at the entire onslaught which has been put on us, which has been put not only on the party but on her, she is not bending, she is not compromising. So once you don't do it, once you don't quieten down or you are not silenced, of course more and more onslaught will come on you. But she's all out.
You believe others are silent?
It's for you to say. Of course nobody is talking about it. Of course the way she is talking about it consistently from day one when she came out till date, I don't think anybody else is doing that.
So, BJP was your ally in 2015 when you formed the government. Was going BJP a mistake?
Come on, we went with BJP. There were negotiations for 3 months. The results, assembly election results were out, I'm sure, in December. It took us 3 months, December, January, February. It took 3 months Mufti Saab to sort it out. He took over as Chief Minister only on 1st March, if I remember well.
Yeah, 2015.
So he took quite a time to discuss things with them. And then we came out with what we call with a document called Agenda of Alliance. It was not that we just went to share power. There was a definite agenda which was sorted out by leaders from both sides. And it took them 3 months to sort it out. And we came to an agreement which is known as, which was based on Agenda of Alliance.
Did you achieve anything in the Agenda of Alliance? What you didn't? You could not get back the power projects. You could not get the AFSPA done. So, did that government actually, as PDP, did you achieve what you had gone into with?
Perhaps not. And did they do something good to the people of Jammu and Kashmir? No. Did they do something good for their own self? No. Because they lost trust. Why did they reach an agreement which they already knew they will not implement? But you can't blame me that they didn't do what they were supposed to do. What else can you do? We can't do anything.
But you were heading, your chief minister was from your party. So why couldn't you pursue what you wanted to?
The question is, it was quite brief, one, and you know the Kashmir situation, we were always on boil. So attention was, of course, we were more focused on those things like law and order situation here. But despite that, whenever issues came up, whether it was ceasefire, Government of India didn't want ceasefire. But Mehbooba ji saw to it that they have a ceasefire. And then you can always question, did it work or not? But we asserted and we got it done.
But on this PDP BJP government, and you talked about the Agenda of Alliance. So was 2016 a part of it? Because what happened in 2016, it was basically the bastion from where you also blog. It was PDP's bastion that was the most affected. So what happened in 2016? You have been accusing the BJP government now of a communication blockade post August 5. Internet and phones were shut back then also. PDP was heading that government.
Because there was a law and order situation.
But that's what BJP is saying now also.
No, but that didn't continue for 2 years. That didn't continue for 1.5 years.
But do you see that Kashmir has improved since 2016?
Kashmir has?
Kashmir situation has improved since 2016?
I don't think. There are some breathing periods in between, but I don't think.
But you were in power. Did you start it? Was it your government which was at fault, basically of that agitation came up?
No, agitation. If you look at the history of Kashmir, it started way back. It has been there all along, all through. Only brief periods, what you call breathing periods in between.
So how do you respond to this question that there was a communication blockade in 2016 also? Didn't the BJP take cue from you in 2019 and imposed a complete blackout?
No, again I will say this. You can't do it for 1.5 years. You can't do it for months and months together. You can do it maybe And maybe you may do it for a weeks and do it, which is very unfortunate. It's not something good that was done. Maybe we could have done something else. Maybe we also made mistakes. We can't say, no, we didn't make mistakes.
On mistakes, some of the comments that Chief Minister Mehbooba Mufti made, did they aggravate the 2016 situation? She made references to kids going out for toffee and milk. It has been all over. She's been criticized for it. So, did these statements, were they required?
No, that's what I'm saying. Yes, we must have made mistakes. Who says no? But in totality, overall, if you see and compare her with previous governments, she asserted on main issues. And I gave you instances, so many instances. Government of India never wanted ceasefire. She made them to go for the ceasefire. Government of India never wanted to get Kathua rape case investigated by local police. She saw to it that local police does it.
Do you also term accusations on her of talking to militants and Wahid Parra being accused of helping militants and funding them? Is this also political witch hunt?
No, it looks as a witch hunt. I'll tell you why. But since it's sub judice, we shouldn't be talking more on it. There was a BJP government prior to that. My question is, why did they go for an alliance with such a party, which had contacts with militants, which had contacts with antisocial elements? Yeah. Of course, you shouldn't be having contacts with international elements. We are against it. Antisocial elements, yes, we are against it. But did they come to know yesterday that this is quite unfortunate? Did they come to know yesterday that these have been happening? Did they fail to sense it, smell it, and stop it? Did they fail in their duty, which is their basic duty, to stop international elements, to stop anti-social elements? Why didn't they do it right on time? They should have done it right on time.
So she's been accused of talking to this militant Naveed Babu. Do you deny it? Does the PDP deny it?
There is a probe on, it's sub judice. Let them do what they want to do. She is ready to cooperate. She has cooperated.
If the PAGD does not come up to the expectations of the PDP as the situation currently is, so what is the roadmap you have for restoration of Article 370 as PDP? What else?
Come on, there are people who say it's the parliament which can redo whatever it did on 5th August. There is a Supreme Court which can undo what was done on 5th August. Now this is quite strange. Supreme Court, of course, that's the supreme, as they say, the supreme last word on everything. But did the Supreme Court, did they show any eagerness, keenness to take it up? No, they didn't. So it's for everybody to see. Will it happen? Will they take a decision to undo it after with every passing day? With every passing day, it's becoming kind of. They are not interested.
So that's my point. What in PDP is your roadmap? If the SC does not do it, if the PAGD is falling apart, so what is your roadmap?
You speak up. You don't. We are against any violence. We are against any. If we take to arms, Mehbooba ji condemned it many a times. She asked people of Kashmir. She asked people of Jammu and Kashmir, please don't take to arms. Please don't take violent. Don't try to achieve anything through violent means. So we will continue to pursue. We will continue to speak. We will continue to convince people. We will continue to convince Government of India, the rest of the country, that what you have done on 5th August is injustice to the people of Jammu and Kashmir.
Is that enough?
No, that's what you can do. What else can you do? What else can you do? Then, again, this is a misnomer. Parliament is all right. You have the mandate. That's all right. That's fine. That's how democracy works. But there is much bigger thing than the Parliament, which is the Constitution of India. And it was the Constitution of India which had given us all these rights. And you can't do anything against the Constitution of India. No, Parliament has its own limited powers, immense powers, but limited powers. No, you can't do it. My impression is you couldn't do what you have done on 5th of August 2019.
In the recently held DDC elections, you did not campaign in the Jammu belt, Jammu region, mainly Jammu's Hindu heartland. Why didn't you do it?
No, we were not allowed to campaign anywhere. You know it for certain. We were not allowed to campaign for anywhere. We had a definite program charted out, sorted out program, at least PDP, that we'll go to every corner, we'll do it. But Mehbooba was not allowed to go out. In fact, she was told then once, no, unless once DDC elections are over, only then you will be allowed to move. And that's what she did.
But would PDP be fighting an assembly election whenever it happens under UT and without 370? Would PDP fight an election?
No, we did that even during DDC elections. We always said development issues are important. This is again, I don't know why this confusion is being created. We always said DDC, they ask us, what happened? Did DDC elections restore Article 370? We never said it will restore Article 370.
So would you fight an assembly election?
No, there are day-to-day issues. There are.
So are you telling me that you would fight elections for civic issues?
Of course, there are day-to-day issues.
So why didn't you fight the 2018 ULB and Panchayat?
Maybe we learned from that it shouldn't be done, because then you are giving a easy field to your opponents. There are day-to-day problems, there are health issues, there is unemployment, there are education issues.
So Mehbooba Mufti would also fight an assembly election.
Sorry?
Mehbooba Mufti would also fight an assembly election as UT and without 370.
No, as individual, I am only quoting her. As individual, she has said that she will not do it. But will her party do it? Yes, her party will do it. She has said it and we will do it. We have done it in DDC elections. But don't confuse the two. Development has nothing to do with restoration of Article 370 or restoration of Article 35A or all special powers.
So you're basically saying that elections are different, they're for development purpose and all, and your fight for 370 is entirely different from it.
Of course.
India and Pakistan have now started this process of reconciliation, and there might be talks, there are reports about it. You welcomed it. What are your expectations of it?
We hope things were started way back when Atal Bihari Vajpayee was the Prime Minister of India. So we had the most peaceful time in Kashmir, in Jammu and Kashmir. We had peace everywhere. We started opening up routes which had been blocked after 47, whether it is Srinagar Muzaffarabad road, whether it is Poonch Rawalkot road. We had a peaceful era had begun, and everybody was kind of was very feeling very happy and comfortable with all of that. Unless before that I thought that it was not possible, but Atal Bihari Vajpayee and then Dr. Manmohan Singh and with General Musharraf on the other side, they told us, yes, it is possible, we can live in peace. And I hope, of course late, but it's never too late if you begin. So we have welcomed all of it and said that it will be followed by concrete actions and it will be taken to its logical conclusion. In fact, whatever was left, it will be taken off from there and taken to its logical conclusion.
So, do you believe that Kashmiri people should be part of it? Is that one of your demands if the talks go through?
This is the bridge. This is the bone of contention. What else is the bone? There is a Simla agreement. If you look at it, the latest is the Simla agreement. What does Simla agreement say? Simla agreement says we don't want third party intervention, but yes, Pakistan and India will sit and sort out Kashmir issue, sort out Jammu Kashmir issue. That is the Simla agreement. That is the bilateral agreement between the two countries. So unless you address, take it head on, address the bone of contention, you cannot perhaps live in peace.
So delimitation is currently underway in Jammu and Kashmir. The National Conference has 3 parliamentarians, but they have boycotted it. So you contested the DTC elections, and you told me that you'll also be contesting the assembly elections. So why aren't you coming up with your demands? What do you expect out of the delimitation commission? Because ultimately you're going to contest under that delimitation only.
No, there are many things. One is that it was elected J&K Legislative Assembly, which unanimously said that as in rest of the country, we will have this delimitation in 2026. So now they say no, we have to do it only for the state of Jammu and Kashmir. So basically we are against it. We don't want any delimitation right now. Why should you have delimitation before 2026? You are having delimitation in the rest of the country. Why are you so keen to have it for Jammu and Kashmir? We are not in favor of delimitation at all right now. But
you're going to fight an election now, so delimitation is going to happen. So because delimitation basically happened in the DTC elections also, but now it's going to happen for the assembly elections. So why aren't you coming up with your things? Because you're going to contest anyways. So why contest an election under a delimitation which does not take your things on board?
No, what do you do? What do you do? It's kind of something is thrusted upon you. So what do? Perhaps you take it as you can only speak up against.
You're basically not being part of the delimitation commission, but you're going to be part of an election that would also be thrusted on you through this delimitation commission.
You can speak up.
Isn't there a contradiction?
No, there is no contradiction. That's what I am saying. What else can you do? You can only put it on record and say, no, it shouldn't be done. We are against it. You can't go beyond that. There are limitations. You can't go beyond that. We will not take to streets. We will not start pelting stones. We should do that.
So my last question to you is on this self-rule document, basically on which the People's Democratic Party was formed. So you're talking about 370 because it was abrogated. But why isn't PDP talking about self-rule per se? Because that was the actual dream. Even when you had 370, you were demanding self-rule. Why not just talk about self-rule, which is actually about 370? So where has that document vanished?
No, it hasn't vanished, but things have changed, situations have changed, times have changed. When I say all of this, nobody expected what happened on 5th of August 2019. What happened I want to ask BJP, what happened to Agenda of Alliance? Why did they sign? Why did they reach an agreement with us, which is known as Agenda of Alliance? Why did they breach that? You can only, in a democratic country, in a democratic setup, you can only speak up against things. You can only make them hear your point of view. Beyond that, what can you do? You can't do anything. Because violence, no. Big no to violence. So this is the only thing. Wherever you get a democratic forum or a platform, you raise your voice. That's exactly what we will do, and that's exactly what we are doing.
On that note, I'll thank you, Dr. Baig. Thank you so much for talking to Kashmir Life. This was Dr. Mehboob Baig of the People's Democratic Party in conversation with Kashmir Life.